Today we are going to discuss an important functionalist sociologist and anthropologist, Malinowski. Malinowski was a Polish originally, but he studied in England. He had training in chemistry and economics, and he is considered as one of the founders of social anthropology. He got an opportunity to study some islands near New Guinea, which is near Australia in the continent of Oceania, and he was, I mean, basically influenced by the works of Durkheim and Fraser. You know James Fraser. Perhaps we discussed in the class. Otherwise, we can discuss it. If not, you tell me. James Fraser, who was also one of the important anthropologists, uh, and one of the founders of anthropology, you can say, and associated with Cambridge University. And he gave an evolutionary theory of religion. And his major work is the Golden Bough. The Golden Bough. This is the major work associated with Fraser. So please read about Fraser and his work, The Golden Bough, in which he has discussed the evolution of religion from magic to religion, and then again science. It is similar to Auguste Comte's evolutionary theory, but James Fraser's work was criticized because of some problems in the method and even in data, because he never went there and it was data sent by someone and he overgeneralized it. So Malinowski had he was influenced by Fraser and the Heim's work. So his theory is also similar to the Heim, but he says that it's not the whole society which is the concern of religion. He says that religion is basically uh, it deals with certain critical points in the life of an individual, and these are the lives when there is a crisis, points of crisis, you can say. And he says that religion helps to establish and restore social order whenever it is disrupted. And the disruption of social order basically it usually happens when there is distress, when the individual is under psychological stress and he is distressed. At those moments, I mean, if we have a happy individual, a happy individual is good for society. So whenever there is psychological problem with individual, of course, and he's under stress, he's in emotional stress, it would basically disrupt the social fabric. So keeping this assumption and this observation in mind, he says that there are certain crises. These crises, sorry, these crises are, for example, from the childhood to puberty to, for example, to the marriage, and to, for example, uh, finally to death. Death is the ultimate thing which disrupts society, because first of all it is loss of an individual, and secondly the whole family and the whole group is under stress. And there are many factors which can basically you can say that it would disrupt it is potentially very disruptive for whole of society. So religion here comes for the help, and we see that whenever it is an occasion of marriage or some other yeah, I mean say transition, uh, religion or religious rituals help us to pass from one phase to the other. So we have religious rituals associated with marriage, and we have religious associated, particularly the most elaborate, we can say, rituals are at the at the time of death. So the whole family and the whole circle of friends and people even who do not know, they come to support you. And therefore, first of all, that ritual basically it denies death, that his soul is there. So this is how religion helps us by saying that it is just the body and the soul would continue. And secondly, the whole group is united. So this unity of the group basically provided by religion is much helpful in those times when society was going to disrupt. So it gathers the whole group. So this is, according to Malinowski, is basically this explains religion. So in one way, this is similar to the Rahim's theory of social solidarity. That, but it's not every time. It's just religion works at those particular times, those particular points, wherever there is a chance of probability of any uh, disruption. So he studies uh, Torbrian Islands. Torbrian Islands are near New Guinea, as I earlier told, and he studied again the simple societies which were not literate, and they were have the societies were very simple, similar to those studied by Rahim. And what he found that the main economy was in those Torbrianders, they were basically fishers. And whenever fishing was certain in a particular area, where fishing was certain and clear, they could manage, they could plan, and they could depend on their skills and knowledge and experience. They were not using any religious ritual. But whenever they have to go beyond a particular area and have to fish in an open sea where there were many risks of life, and they are not sure about that whether they would be any, there would be any catch of fish uh, at all or not. So whenever there was uncertainty, they were using religion. So again, Malinowski says that religion basically helps us in those moments whenever there is uncertainty. So we you can say develop religious consciousness. Develop. Malinowski has also said that this is basically magic. They were using magical things, but other people, other sociology also say that this is basically earlier forms of religious life. So this is how religion is religious practices, religious rituals are created by human beings whenever they have to cope with uncertain situations or in situations which can lead to mental distress and ultimately disruption of society. So this is the crux of Malinowski's view. Again, the criticism on Malinowski is saying that he has overstated his case, and there are other methods through which people can manage, but still, I mean, his the criticism on him is same that first of all, the issue of sample and it cannot be generalized, and secondly, in uncertain situations we have other methods also. So this does not fully explain that why there is religion at all. Thank you very much.